Welcome to episode 39 of the Heeb and Goy Show. Currently, Heeb and Shiksa, episode 2, really, because we had one last week with a non-Jew. This week, big curveball, we're going with a Gen Z Shiksa to go for max creep factor with the old guy and the young lady. So this is Riley. Say hello, Riley.
Hello.
Riley is 23, right?
Yes.
23. I've known her since she was 9, 8,
Yeah,
something like
8.
that. So, known her a long time. I'm her unofficial Jewish uncle. And when thinking about who I could get as the young, where it wouldn't be creepy, Riley's a very short list of girls that age I could have on.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do in this episode, we have a few little bits, and I'm just interested in the different kind of perspectives on life that you get from an old fart like me compared to someone young who has their whole life ahead of her. And I want to start with something that I have found. Well, before I start, Riley, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, the basics, what you're doing, where you are, all that.
Okay. Well, right now, so I'm 23. I just finished graduate school for clinical mental health counseling. So now I'm a professional counselor. I work with children. I'm out in Nashville, Tennessee. Anything else?
No, that's actually funny you mentioned that, because people who listen to our podcast know that my normal co-host Bruce and I loathe children, both of us.
Yeah, I couldn't be farther opposite
This
from
is
that.
the one thing where you and I don't vibe, really.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I hate it's just young children, like before
Right.
5, 6 years old. I can't do that.
Yeah, I think we just view them very differently.
Yeah, and honestly, like, isn't it more comfortable for you knowing there's a 51-year-old guy who hates 4-year-olds versus a 51-year-old guy who loves 4-year-olds?
I think that's definitely, it sounds a lot safer. It sounds a lot
Yeah,
more.
totally. Right. That's what I always say. People give me shit. It's like, well, you really want to know the 51-year-old who's way into toddlers? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think so. So I wanted to bring something up with you that I have found fascinating. Bruce and I have covered on previous episodes, and I find it amazing. And like, you're the age of these people, so I want to get inside the head, and I'm calling it Gen Z entrepreneurs. So,
Okay.
this is Facebook, okay? And
Okay.
granted, Facebook these days is more for people my age than it is for young people, but I'll go on Facebook, and usually most of the stuff I do there is related to my pig stuff, or like, and that's about it, like that, or sports or whatever.
Mhm.
But almost every time I go on there are these reels, and they're short videos, and it's always this, always,
Mhm.
always, every time. And it's like, so I'm looking at this, and over the past, like, Bruce and I did an episode on this, and I did a deep dive into this a little bit because I wanted to say, like, why? Like, what is this for? So I kind of figured it out. So these girls want you to click on their reel, then they want you to go to their profile, and on their profile is what's called a link tree or something like that, and in that is a link to OnlyFans, and they want you to go on to OnlyFans and pay them to take their clothes off, basically.
Mhm.
Right? But it's not spoken, like, they don't advertise it as such. They don't say that in any of these, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And like, someone my age, I just can't, like, again, I'm not judging if you're 22 and you know, whatever, if you can make a living, fantastic. It's a free country, that's awesome. Whatever, in this economy, whatever you got to do, right? But I kind of wanted to get the take of someone your age. Like, you don't see this, so this is clearly being targeted to me. Like, Facebook knows, all right, this dude's 51, he's straight, he's probably gonna dig this. And certainly when I did my research deep dive into what the fuck this is, now they think I really like it because I clicked on them.
Yeah.
So, like, I look at this and, like, I wouldn't say I feel bad for them, but it's almost like, I mean, I guess not. I don't know. Like, should I feel bad for them? Like, I don't know. What do you think? What's your take on this?
I think it really depends, because I feel like I don't know, my first reaction is kind of what you said, of like, if it works for them, if they're making money like this, if they're enjoying it, then like, more power to you, like, keep with it. But it's funny, I think I have a different perspective depending on the age. And I don't know why, I don't know if that's fair, but I feel like when I see people, like, younger people, like, maybe in their 20s doing it, I have more of, like, an understanding, like, it's not my gut instinct is to not, like, feel sorry for them, like, um but for some reason, I think, like, maybe older women doing this, that's when I start to think, like,
Define older.
um, oh gosh, maybe, like, late 30s and up.
Yeah, no, that'd
That's
be,
when I
yeah.
start to think,
I'm
like,
not getting any of that. All I get is this,
okay,
which is these girls are probably a lot younger than you, like, or maybe your age, but like younger than, none of these girls are over 25.
okay, yeah, then I mean, I wonder what's going on, like, I don't know, that steered them in that direction in the first place, like, I feel like that's not like a
Well, exactly, because it's not that simple. Like, you sort of have to have a plan, and you have to set up this whole shtick where you create the content, you create a way for them to find you and to know where to go, and hint, hint, hint. You might get to see a little more, right?
mhm,
Like, so there's definitely there's you got to be a bit of a hustler. Like, it's not like anyone can do this. Like,
right, right, to actually make any money doing this, it takes a
well, yeah,
lot
because
to
just
go
getting
into it.
on a camera and jumping up and down in a bikini is not going to make any money,
Right.
right? Like, you
But this
have
has
to
been,
have,
like, planned out, like, thought
yeah.
out, like, you're putting most of your time and energy into this as you would any other job.
And some of these videos are like, they look professional. Like, this isn't some girl with an iPhone. This is someone filming her, and they caption it. I mean, maybe I'm behind the times and this is super easy to do, but like, some of it seems more complicated than, like, meaning there's more than one person involved in the organization.
Yeah, like, if you're making money on this, it's not like it's not viewed as like a job. It's like it feels like you're making that like a career. Like, you are gonna spend some significant time doing this, prepping for this, like, putting time and money into it. Um,
So
so yeah,
let's say you're out and about, you're hanging out, you're in Nashville, whatever, you're at Dollyville, whatever the hell you're doing. And was it Dollyland? Dollyville?
Dollywood?
Dollywood. Sorry.
Yeah.
See, old guy. So, and you make a friend, and hey, my name's Riley, blah, 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 blah. And the friend's like, yeah, I do some Facebook reel stuff. And so you're like, what do you mean? And she says, yeah, so I mean, would you be like, cool?
I would
Or
just
like,
have so many questions, like, I would just be so curious about it, like, I don't think I would be very judgmental because, like, if you're putting stuff into that and, like, you're making money from that, like
no, no, no. I mean, I'm not coming out this from like you're a bad person. I'm just
no,
fascinated
yeah,
by it. I'm
yeah,
totally fascinated by the whole thing. And like, I guess, like, in a way, you have to respect them, because look, I mean, looks is one aspect of life. It's no fun. No one likes to admit it. No one likes to say it, but it's true. If
mhm.
you're attractive, this has been studied. If you're attractive and you have charisma, or as you kids call the Riz, right?
But no, that's
Um,
not even me. I don't
uh,
even understand some of that, but
uh, so you can legitimately, like, it helps you in life in many ways. In so many ways, it helps you in life. This is just one of those ways, right?
mhm,
So I have no problem. Like, I'm the opposite, right? So the things that make me able to earn money and be valuable and do stuff are not related to my looks. That's for damn sure. So I had to find other things. But if I'm a 23-year-old girl,
mhm,
and I got a good body, and I'm in good shape, and I'm pretty, I'm like, shit, make hay while the sun shines, because I got news for you: in 10 years, it ain't gonna be that easy,
mhm.
you know. Um, anyway, I wanted to get your take on this as someone the same age as these people, because every single time I see these, and it's like, every time I'm like, wow, like, this is a whole industry. This is like a whole thing.
Yeah, it's not like a quick way to make money, it's this is your main thing for a while you can do it at least.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and again, I mean, I gotta send you some of these separate, like, just how, like, polished some of these videos are. It's not just, hey, here's my boobs or whatever. It's not like that, you
Yeah.
know. Um, anyway, I wanted to spend a few minutes on that, because I know what my opinion is. I know what any 50-year-old guy's opinion would be, but I was curious what your opinion would be. So you would be kind of like me. You're like, wow, that's wow. Like,
Yeah, I would just be curious because, like, I mean, it's not like you said, not it's not like everyone can do it, but I'm curious about what makes them want to pursue this over anything else. Like, in terms
Probably
of
because it's easy money.
I mean,
If
yeah,
it works, if it works.
right, that's the thing. Because 'Cause we're saying, like, you do have to put a lot of work and effort into
Yeah,
it.
you have to. I mean, it's you got to get found. It's like almost any business. You can open a sandwich shop. It could be the best sandwich in town, but if no one knows it's there, you're going to go out of business, right? So they
Yeah,
have to get people to this, whatever it is, whether it's OnlyFans or if there's something else. I have no idea, right? I sound like
yeah.
someone trying to pretend I don't know when I really do know, but I really don't know. So
I just wonder, like, my main thing about it is, like, what is the most? Because when I think about careers, I think about, like, doing things you're passionate about, like, things that fill you like, what do they find fulfilling about this? Like, is the fulfilling part, like, just getting
money,
validation, or is it just purely
money.
money?
I mean, the part that I'm interested in is like, how did you get into this? Like, who came? Like, someone must have come up to them like, look, I know how to. Like, probably there's some slimy guy who's 37 who's like, listen, honey, I know how to take what you got and make a buck. So we're
Mhm.
gonna set you up, and I'm gonna take 20% of it or whatever, and you're just gonna jump around on camera, and I'm gonna do all the work. You
Yeah,
know, or maybe they're doing it. Maybe some of them do it themselves. Who knows? But at some point, somebody put the idea in their head, right?
yeah. It's like you have to, like, you know someone, or you're in some kind of
And you
network.
got to be, and you have to be a certain type of person because of like, look, you're 23. Let's say
Yeah,
you have some friend. He's like, hey Riley, you know, you're pretty. You know, I know how we can make some easy money. You wouldn't be the type of person who would want to do this, right? It
right,
would not be your thing.
right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I just wanted to spend a few minutes on it. You know, it
Yeah,
is.
I
So
mean,
yeah, go
you've
ahead.
gotta be just confident, no shame, but then I think it could be the flip, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, something about the validation is so
Well, of
good, like,
course, yeah,
it
yeah.
makes you, because already with social media, but just, like, being insecure and just seeking that validation online, like, I feel like there's gotta be a piece of that in it, but then again, I don't know, you've gotta have some confidence to go out and do that, I think, like, I don't know. It's one of the 2 extremes. I think you're either, like, crazy confident, and you're just like, "I'm gonna make a bunch of money doing this, and it's gonna be awesome," or there's something underneath that's like, "I love this validation, and that's, like, keeps me doing it." You know what I mean?
Anyway, so I have a segment that I've been putting together that I think is gonna be a lot of fun.
Okay.
And I am bringing on a co-host, a friend of mine that you don't know. Her name's Christina. She helped me put this together.
Hi. Hi,
Christina
Christina.
knows about you. You don't know about Christina. Christina and I have been friends for
Cool.
a long time. She lives
Mhm.
up in Buffalo. She's about my age.
Mhm.
Um, and we were
We met on
chatting.
Twitter.
We met on Twitter and like around the time actually that I met you, Riley, around
Oh,
like '09, somewhere like that.
okay.
So she comes and pig sits for us when we go on vacation. So that's a little background.
Aw.
Um, so I have this segment called the Gen Z Shiksa Quiz, and this is a game show. You're going to win money. You can win money. Okay. There's
Okay.
going to be 10 questions. So we put together questions that if you ask these questions to anyone our age, they would know immediately. Like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
duh. But they're very pop culture, 70s, 80s, 90s stuff.
Oh, no shot. No
Okay. Well, we'll
shot.
see. We'll
Oh,
see. See,
oh, oh,
so I
oh.
don't know.
Dang.
I went so like stuff that's laughably easy, right?
Dan
Have
and
you
I
ever
worked on these questions last night. He started it and mentioned it to me, and I added a few of them, and I had some comments. It's going to be really
Yeah, yeah.
interesting.
So here's the way we're gonna do this. There's 10 questions. If you get 5 of them, I'm gonna give you $100. I'm gonna Venmo you $100 right now, right?
'kay.
But regardless, I'll give you $10 per correct answer. If you get 5, you get the full 100. You don't even need to get 10, right?
Okay.
So I'm fascinated by this. This is be great. Okay,
I
so
am too.
we're gonna
I feel like
start.
you're gonna be so disappointed.
No, no, no. We're prepared. And
Look,
I
I
want
mean,
to.
it'd be like someone asking us about Perry Como and shit from the
Yeah,
50s, right?
Yeah.
But
no, Riley. There's no judgment on you.
no, you're 23. You're
Yeah.
23. But
Oh, I'm ready, yeah.
I suspect knowing you that you're going to know some of them. I don't think it's going to be a 0, but I
Okay.
think 5 is a reasonable ask. I told you
Okay.
the rule with these questions is it has to be something that if I ask someone my age, they would laugh at me because it's so obvious.
Okay.
Okay.
Love
Okay.
it.
We're going to start. Question number 1. Name 2 Beatles. I need first and last names.
Yeah, Dan, I'm not gonna lie. This is I don't know if I can do it.
Okay, I'm not going to give you a point for it, but do you even know first names of Beatles?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
To be fair, this is a boomer question. The Beatles are not Gen X generation.
No, Beatles are older than us, but like I just thought everybody knew that. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fine. It's okay.
Okay,
It's just
now
fun.
can we delve in? So, Riley, your answer is no, pass. You don't
You know who the Beatles
Yeah.
are.
I know who the Beatles are, and if you gave me like if this was like multiple choice, I could probably pick them out, but I can't name them for you.
You can't even name one name.
I'd love to give a hint.
Lennon?
Yes.
That's
Okay. That's a
name?
that's a last name.
Is it John Lennon?
Yes, that's one. That's
Bingo.
one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Come on.
Now,
Can you get one
Riley,
more?
is he dead or alive? Is John Lennon dead or alive?
Dead?
Yes, he was murdered in 1981.
Yeah, okay. That might be all I got.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm
Okay.
going to hint this way. The most famous one is still alive. He is knighted in England and attends lots of popular concerts and events.
See, this is the one I figured you would know.
Yeah.
If you know Lennon, you should know this one. I would
And
think.
that's the thing. I feel like I feel like if you tell me, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like yeah, obviously, but I don't think I can get there.
Okay, well, his title starts with Sir, but that's not his first name.
Okay.
Here's an obscure hint. He was married to a woman with one leg for a short period of time.
And she ended up being a gold digger.
Yeah.
Wow.
His
And
original
that's
wife
kind of
died, I
recent.
believe, of cancer.
That's
And
kind of recent history. In your lifetime, this
Yeah.
famous
Oh,
Beatle
yeah.
was married to a one-legged woman who
Oh, yeah,
appeared
for sure.
on
It
Dancing
wasn't
with
that long ago.
I still can't.
No
name
shot.
it.
Okay.
Those are
All
some
right.
fun facts.
His daughter is a famous
Oh,
designer,
yeah. That's I forgot
fashion
about that.
designer.
That sounds like some familiar.
The daughter's
information.
first name is Stella.
See, that's starting to sound familiar. So I'm getting closer, but I don't know.
Okay. Paul McCartney is who we were talking about.
Yeah. See, yes, but honestly, when I hear his name, I don't even think first of the Beatles.
Can
that's
you
fair.
picture
That's
him?
fair.
Can you picture when we say Paul McCartney? Can you picture him?
No.
Okay. I don't want to linger. George Harrison, Ringo Starr were the others. Okay, so we came very close.
Okay.
All right.
And
We're-
two
got
of
one.
them are still alive. Two are
Two
dead.
are still alive. Okay.
Yeah.
Name 3 Brady Bunch kids. First names only.
Okay.
Obviously, last name.
I recognize the Brady Bunch, but not
Can you
familiar
name
with
any Brady Bunch kids?
Like, I don't think so.
Oh my god. Okay.
I would
All right.
throw out some generic names and just hope.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Brady Bunch kids, Sarah,
No. Do you know what the Brady Bunch is?
a big family.
It is a big family. What is the Brady Bunch? When I say Brady Bunch, what am I talking about?
Show?
Yeah, TV show in the 70s. Yes.
Was it just like stereotypical, like family kind of?
It was the story of a woman with 3 daughters and a man with 3 sons who get married, and they merge their families into one. Here's a story about a man named Brady. Anyway, I grew up. This was on TV every single day, but I figured the Brady Bunch was ubiquitous. That even your age would at least name a couple.
Because in the 90s, movies were made spoofing it. So
they did. They had They had like comedy based, like yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
And there are a ton of
Memes, tons of memes. Oh yeah.
So and my absolute favorite is the middle Brady Bunch girl is going through a rough period of time, and she invents a boyfriend for herself. And this is Dan's and my favorite thing in life. She gives him a name. Dan, I'll let you reveal.
Yeah. So there's 3 daughters. The oldest daughter is like the pretty one with the boyfriends and everything, the popular one. The middle daughter, not so much. You're the middle daughter, so you get it. So the The middle daughter, not so much. So the older, I was like, well, do you have a boyfriend? To the middle daughter. Middle daughter, well, yeah. Well, what's his name? And then she's looking at a glass and she goes, George Glass.
Yes. Okay. I think I've seen that clip on TikTok before.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. And then a very popular meme is the oldest daughter going, sure, comma, comma, dot, 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 with the name of the middle daughter.
Yeah.
And you don't know. Can't name them.
No, I can't.
All right. Marcia is the oldest. Jan, Cindy. And then the boys are Greg, Peter, and Bobby.
Okay.
All right. We're over 2.
Don't even sound familiar.
I was totally wrong. I thought you would nail these. Okay.
I knew it. I informed you thusly.
Can you name one Led Zeppelin song?
I vaguely know of Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Do you think Led Zeppelin is a person or a concept?
What is Led Zeppelin? I mean, obviously it's music. Is it a person or is it a group?
I thought it was a group.
It is a group.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
I'm going to charity. I'm going to see if you know the last word. Okay. Actually, the first word. This is their most famous song. There's 3 letters. It's blank to heaven.
Oh, Stairway to Heaven.
Okay. There you go. We're going to give it to you. 1. You got 1. It's $10. Okay. What is a DeLorean?
A DeLorean?
DeLorean.
This is like a comment, like a known thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was very famous I'll tell you this, it was very famous in a movie called Back to the Future that you've probably seen.
With Michael J. Fox.
Is it like a car?
Yes, a car. Yes, you got it.
That's
car.
it?
It's a car. A DeLorean is a kind of car that was made by this crazy guy named John DeLorean in the 80s. Really weird looking car with the doors that go up, like on a Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
And it only lasted a few years, but it was part of the movie. They converted it into a time machine for the movie. Okay. So you got 2. You got 2. You're doing great.
I'm very proud of that.
Okay.
Dan, I have to step away for a second. I'm turning off video, but I'm listening.
That's fine. Name one 90s, and for me, even I didn't know this. I had to think about this. Name one 90s era supermodel.
Ooh. Okay.
Because supermodels became a thing really around then. I argued with Christina. I did not want to do this question. I said, this is too hard. Even I had to think about it for a second. I knew a few, but I had to oh, yeah, that's right. But you're a girl, so she convinced me, leave it in.
Well, I'm trying to think about, because I went on a stint where I watched America's Next Top Model. And so that's really old. And so I'm trying to think of
oh, that's right. Okay. I know who did that show and she would count. The person who
Tyra Banks?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She would count. Oh, Christina, Tyra Banks counts, right? Christina will say yes or no. Cindy Crawford is one. But I'm gonna give you Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks counts.
Okay, so you got 3. You're doing good. Okay, what is Willie Nelson famous for?
Willie Nelson, is he a singer?
Are you asking me?
I'm telling you that he is a singer who he plays an instrument.
Yeah, you're just guessing. He is a singer. I'm going to give it to you. He's a country music singer. He's 90 years old. But
yes. Okay.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay. We're killing it. 1, 2. That's 4. You got 1 more. You got $100.
Okay. I'm giving it my best.
Who is Monica Lewinsky?
Monica Lewinsky is someone I know. Is that there's scandal and stuff with Monica Lewinsky?
All right. Yes.
Because
you're on the right track.
Is this political scandal stuff?
I'm not you're done. You're not getting any more hints. I've already given you enough hints.
I need my hints.
You know it's a scandal, so you're halfway there.
So are you looking for a role or a job or a...
You don't have to be specific. I just need to know you have some clue who she is, kind of what she's famous for, somewhat specifically.
Was she an affair?
You're again, you can't ask me. You have to. I need an answer. Like you
think
are. Okay.
there was an affair with her and a president.
Yep.
Bingo.
23-year-old intern, Bill Clinton.
Yes. Ha.
You have won. You've already won. So the rest is gravy.
Okay, let's see what else.
O.J. Simpson is known for what two things?
I feel like I should know this. This is one I should know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He did bad things. Was it like the
Well, no, the two bad thing is not, you can't use those as two separate things. That's he did. Yes, he did bad things. That's one thing. You tell me what the bad thing is.
It's extremely specific, this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh well, there's no chance. Was it abuse?
No. Well, I mean, yeah, but that's not the story. That's what we're going for.
I can't be more specific.
Can you name one thing O.J. Simpson?
Do you know anything about what he was famous for prior to that?
Sports.
Warm.
Nope.
Okay. He was famous. No more hints. She's already won anyway.
I know she's won. That's why I'm trying to see.
Yeah, this one's a miss.
He was a famous football player, very famous, beloved Heisman Trophy winner, the whole thing. Yes. And then he murdered two people: his ex-wife, and her friend. And then the famous TV scene of him in a white Ford Bronco being chased by 1,000 police officers in L.A. Then there was a trial. This is before you were born. Then there was a trial that was on TV. It was like one of the first televised trials ever.
It changed daytime television.
Oh my God. My mother was glued to this shit. And he ended up being found not guilty. But he was ruined
even though he's like as guilty.
He totally is guilty.
Right. Okay. Right, you say it and I'm like, oh yes, that's correct.
So his wife was Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend was Ron Goldman.
Just like a bartender waiter. Okay.
And the Kardashians' father was on OJ's defense.
Oh, that's right. Robert Kardashian was one of the lawyers for OJ, the father of all the Kardashian girls.
Yeah. Okay.
That's arguably kind of what created that, because he was famous, and then later, I mean, he died. I don't remember when, but okay. Kermit the Frog is famous for dating who?
Miss Piggy?
Yeah, we got it. Right on the first try. All right, good.
That was a good one.
All right, the last question. You've already won, but let's do it anyway. Name one movie Sylvester Stallone was in.
So this one's a miss. I can't even Sylvester Stallone, no image even comes into my head of picturing this person.
Have you heard the name before?
Yeah.
You've heard Sylvester Stallone?
I have.
Can you picture what he looks like?
No.
Nothing else.
I'm picturing maybe big, strong guy, like.
Yes.
That's the extent of it for that one.
Okay. Well, he was Rocky. He was a famous fighter movie. He did about 5 of those. He was in Rambo, which was him shooting people up and wherever that was.
So quickly, I was gonna throw in some hints like.
No. I mean, she doesn't know. I mean, she knows.
I knew I couldn't get there on this one.
Heard the name before, but
right.
Like beyond that, couldn't. Yeah, that was
no.
a. Okay.
I didn't associate that with Rocky.
Dan, I would be great if she was like Cobra. Obviously, that's
Predator
movie
ever.
He
wasn't in. Was he in Predator? No.
No,
that was Schwarzenegger.
But because Carl Weathers was in Predator, so I see the confusion. But no, Riley, Cobra is by far like one of the worst movies ever made. But Sylvester Stallone made it in the mid '80s at the peak of his fame, and it is like a cult classic. But by no means is it. He plays a cop named Marion Cobretti, and he wears sunglasses at night, and it's so
yeah. Rocky is what he's best known for, and he won an Oscar for that, the first one, and they did like shit. They did 4 of them like in the 80s, and then more of them later.
Well, for Rocky 1, Rocky was the 70s, and then 2.
Right, and then Rocky 3 is the first one I saw, the one with Mr. T,
It's
and
fabulous.
love it. But it's all sort of the same shit. It's like, he's down. Oh my God, he's got to train. He trains and then trains, and then he wins. And then they had one right in the 80s, right before the Soviet Union collapse, where he fights this Russian guy, Ivan Drago. Anyway, but he's like an Italian icon. Like
the Italian Stallion was
Italian people in the country sort of give Rocco, like they like,
it's fabulous. If you want to watch, if there's only one Rocky to see, do Rocky 4. Just jump in.
3, Miss Clubber Lang.
No, get out of here.
3.
No, she doesn't need to endure mixed death. No, she can go right into 4.
4 is good. 4 is very good. 4 is very good.
Living in America. Come on. No, 4 is the best.
How many are there?
Well, there was 4 that are like popular, and then he did like other ones, and then he did the one recently. What was it called, Christina? Creed. That came out a couple of years ago.
There's only 4 that you need to know about.
Yeah. After that, it was like, who cares? Rocky 1, the first Rocky, is the one that got the Oscars and was like this.
It got an Oscar, but ironically, it's like super boring if you watch it by today's.
I've never seen the first one or the second one. I started with 3 with Clubber.
Number 1, I mean, it's good. It sets the stage, and artistically, it's nice. And I understand for 70s cinema, I understand why I got an Oscar, but it's super boring. It does not hold up. 3 is a little too depressing because Rocky's spoiler alert. Rocky's
his beloved trainer dies.
And
yeah, but Mr. T is such a good villain.
Mr. T is
so good.
He plays this guy named
Clubber. You know who Mr. T is?
No.
Like, if you're ever playing a trivia game, oh God, she doesn't even know who Mr. T is. She's not going to know who Clubber Lang is.
All right. For a future episode, Riley, I would like you to come up with a reverse version of this, where you come up with stuff that anyone your age would immediately know, that you'd think there's no way that a 50-year-old would know. And I want to see, and you'll do it for me and Bruce when he's back. And
I can totally do that.
Yeah, and we'll do the same thing. Your job, this is the challenge. We'll do it where you can win money again. You have to stump us, but you can't do it by making them hard. It has to be stuff that is absolutely obvious to you and to anyone your age, but you got to find that perfect niche where there's no way Dan's going to know this.
Okay.
We'll
don't go easy on them.
No, but you have to go kind of easy. Like, all jokes aside, if I asked any human being that I know, my age group, these 10 questions, they would get all 10 in a New York second.
Yeah.
So I think that's fair to say, don't you, Christina? None of these are no one's going to go on any of these. So it's got to be that. It's got to be
challenge is there are some people in our generation who wouldn't know a Led Zeppelin song, but they would come up with "Stairway to Heaven," I guess.
Yeah. Led Zeppelin song. Okay, fine, but right. This is what's so fun about this, and I want you to come up with 10 questions in a future episode. We'll do the reverse quiz where you're quizzing the old guys. Bruce and I will work together on it, and if you can stump us for more than 5 of them, which should be fucking easy. Because I haven't listened to new music since 91. So,
and you could throw in emojis. You know, you could.
Again, it has to be something that is that nobody your age would not know. You know, it's funny because last night when I was doing this, I thought of putting some stuff about Friends in there, but I'm like, Friends kind of goes across generations. I was going to go.
I would be great at that.
Ross and Rachel were on a what?
On a break.
See, exactly. So you would have known that.
Okay.
So I was right.
What was Chandler's name on his TV guide?
Shenandler Bong.
See, that's the thing. Why Friends? That's what's so amazing about this.
I love Friends.
Right, but why that and not Brady Bunch? Why that and not? That's what's so funny and amazing about it. And Friends is great. It is, but it's why do some things transcend to a point where a 23-year-old, you were that show was over by the time you were even born.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was still on, but by the time you were old enough to watch TV, it was long over. Whereas I remember
watch it at the time. I think its rebirth is more successful than its original air. It was wildly popular.
It was huge, haircuts. Everyone had that stupid haircut.
Yeah, but I think it was on a long time, and people grew tired of it.
And it sort of, that's the other thing, is it started right before the internet. and ended when the internet was already happening. So
Yeah.
it's not, it kind of, because not really 2099 is when most people were online by then. Whereas Friends, I think, started in like 94.
It did in the
So,
fall of
see, there you go. I'm glad I didn't do that. It would have been too easy. But I had a feeling. I had this weird feeling you would know that.
Yeah. I've seen
Um,
Friends so many times.
Awesome.
See, and you just never know, and that's the thing. But it won't. That is not true about if you when you do our quiz. It's not like, well, most 50-year guys have no idea what Riz is, but they're gonna know. You know, fucking, I don't even know. Like the
Like,
Taylor
I don't
Swift.
even know what you'd come up with, but there's no
No,
way Dan has ever seen The Bachelor.
no,
Yeah.
no. But again, do most girls your age watch The Bachelor? I mean,
Oh, so many, really.
okay, fair enough.
Honestly, I don't as much, but it's still a pretty across the board
It's
thing.
hard now because there were so many fewer things than when I was a kid. Now there's so many things. You have the internet. There's TikTok. There's like that freaking Hawk Tua person, right?
my
Like
God,
that would
yes.
never have happened in 1981 ever.
Yeah.
There was no opportunity for that, for some dumb person to say something stupid on a camera. No
Mhm.
opportunity. So that's what makes it harder. And your quiz will be like, I may not even get one of them. You know,
It's gonna be so fun making it.
yeah, I want you to do that. That is your assignment, and then a future episode we'll do it, and we'll see. Bruce is on TikTok, so he's a little ironic because he's older than me. He's like 5 years older than me right now. So my normal co-host right now is in the desert at an event called Wasteland Weekend. It's in a post-apocalyptic cosplay where people show up in weird vehicles and shit in a bucket and camp out and pretend that the world has disappeared and there's been a nuclear war for a week. He doesn't shower, and he brings food in a cooler that he has to keep in a cooler, and he shits in a bucket. There's no bathrooms. Like so he and I, you couldn't come up. I mean, like that's what's amazing about him and me is like we're so similar in so many ways, but like never in a million years would I do this. Like
That's so intense.
like to me, living in this RV is roughing it, you know, and I have air conditioning. So yeah, so you will come back on with that. And yeah, that's really all I have for this week. That was the quiz was good. I'm gonna chop that up and put that as its own thing.
I like it. Honestly, though, too, with the quiz, I also think I don't know if I'm like the best representative of my demographic because I know that if you have Mackenzie on here, my sister who's 25, she would get all of those. I bet she would get almost.
You
all
think
of
she would get all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's more like pop, like music, TV.
Well, she
like,
has more time because she's dating a leprechaun.
That's her.
So like, yeah. Haha.
But Riley, you did great, and this is by
no, you did really well.
No, this was good. I gave it my best.
Although you did well, but I'm also like some of these things it's just amazing to see, and because you're an adult, like have to think about who was Monica Lewinsky or who are the Beatles. Like it's so, but it's just generational. There's nothing weird about it, but it's just because Christina doesn't have kids either, so like. Adults like me and her feel like we're still your age. In my brain, I'm still like 27, you know?
Yeah.
In my brain, the Brady Bunch is still on TV.
Yeah, totally. Marsha. Yeah.
You're Jan.
Yeah. So, you do your quiz. We'll do that on a future episode. And then I do want to give Mackenzie this quiz now that you mention it. I want you to do it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And I want you be no hints. Be straight with it.
I will give her any hints, and I bet
tell me how many of the 10. I don't think she gets all 10. I think she would get most of them, but I don't think there's something will trip her up.
Maybe one, but she's gonna be good at this.
May not get that. Like O.J. Simpson was first known as a fabulous football player. I could see that.
She's not into sports.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. That might be the one she uses, but
okay, all right. I'm gonna send this to you.
Yeah,
and you got to report back to me because I'm curious. But I agree. And she's a little older too. She's born in the 90s. I mean,
99.
Yeah, barely.
And I have to defend my throwing in the 90s era supermodel because recently on Hulu, I believe it was, there is a whole special about the 90s supermodel era. Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, Christy Turlington. It was a really unique period of time. And I thought maybe with it being a documentary, you might have seen it.
I ended up being right on that, though. I said that even I knew Cindy Crawford. Like that's the one I came up with. But that wasn't like a slam dunk. Any dumb shit's gonna know that question. Like I was like, I don't think so. The only reason I put it in is you're a girl. And I'm like, well, I could see a girl knowing that maybe.
I just thought of America's Next Top Model and the judges because I know that's an older show.
Yeah, well, Tyra Banks counts 100%.
Yeah,
Tyra Banks was definitely.
She's one of them. They were all like really tall, really skinny.
Yeah.
Kate Moss. Yeah.
Stephanie Seymour.
Yeah, I mean, even I like last night I asked Christina, does Pam Anderson count? No, she doesn't count. Like
Pam Anderson wasn't a model. She was an
wasn't she?
No.
Before
Pam Anderson's like 5'3".
That's true. You had to be like 6 feet tall to be a supermodel.
Yeah.
5'10" minimum.
All right. Well, I was right on that. I want credit. I was right. I said I think that's a little rough.
And who informed you thusly about Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, she was right about Zeppelin. I figured you would be like, you would struggle, but it wouldn't be like I have no clue, right?
Yeah, no, I had no clue.
Yeah, they were just.
No, I know Stairway to Heaven, but
they were the kind of one of the bands that was always on the radio when I was a kid. Classic rock, just always. Ask your dad. Always. If you say to your dad, name 3 bands that were on the radio all the time when you were a kid, you know, like classic rock bands. They're one of them. So, all right. Well, we're successful. I already sent you your money.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't spend it in one place. And then you got to do your quiz. And I'm going to vet after the quiz. We're going to vet it. I'm going to ask some of my other Gen Zers to make sure you're not screwing me.
You can. I'll check it out before I actually.
Okay, it has to be like people will have to say to you, "You're kidding, right?" Anyone knows this. It has to be like that.
Okay.
Right. So, okay. All right. Done deal. So, at this point of the show, I want to thank everyone for appearing. I'm going to play the outro, which is we have a sad version of the song. The song you heard, the intro, I wrote that. That's me. And then we have a kind of a sad version of it that I play at the end, kind of like melancholy. So I'm going to play that. And then once that's over, we're out. But you stay on there, stay on. And when you hear the song stop, we're not recording anymore. So you can start cussing. All right.
Perfect. Riley, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Here we go.
We would like to welcome you. One Gentile and Jew. Heeb and Goy, 2 old men who like to complain. Heeb and Goy,